Hi, little guys. There they are, the second batch of broilers. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Drunken Bull Ranch. I'm Reed. I'm going to slide into the shade here for a second. So this is our second batch of broilers. We just did a video on processing the first batch. I spaced them out this year to where they show up about the time that we get a batch processed, which I'm kind of grateful for because yeah, we're suffering in the heat. Anyway, so this is our second batch. Now they do have the little heater in there for when they're little, which they're standing on. Oh, stay in there. Anyway, but they are ready to get out of this thing. And what this is it's just a wood crate that I got, and I put a lid on it, and it works pretty good for a brooder. But we're gonna move these guys. Okay, so I just brought the first, what is that, 8 over here, and I put them down next to the water so they know where the water is. And this is what I did. So out here around our fruit trees, I put up a perimeter fence. It's not electrified, but it's inside of our garden fence, so they're pretty well protected from predators either way. So it's basically just to keep them in. Now, the reason that I did this is that, if you recall, the other group was out there by the well house. We haven't had the irrigation water that I was hoping for, as I've mentioned several times before, and so there's nothing growing out there. So what I did here is, if you notice, right down here I have sprinklers, and there's 2 more down there, and basically I've got those turned so that they'll run on this section too, where the fruit trees are and where the chickens are. So hopefully it'll grow some grass and they will be able to forage on that, as well as the feed that I'm giving them. You can see the feeder right over there between those 2 trees. So anyhow, that's kind of what I'm doing. And yes, this is my lovely weed patch that is my garden. That's all the potatoes right there. Anyway, but it's mostly this red root stuff, which we didn't actually have this weed until I hauled in a bunch of topsoil. So yeah, that's cute. Anyway, I haven't had time to weed the garden, so it is what it is. But let me get the rest of these chickens moved, and we'll see how they do out here. Actually, they're already foraging. See that? Look at them go. Now the other thing is with the garden is it has not done well due to bugs, mainly grasshoppers, all sorts of other bugs, and I hate spraying for bugs, so it is what it is. The onions have not done well. Pretty much the whole garden hasn't done well this year. So, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so now they're all out here. They all know where the water is. That one thinks he's gonna fit through that hole, which he might, but they won't go too far. And like I said, I have the perimeter fence around the garden out here. So, hopefully they will eat the bugs that have been causing havoc in the garden, or at least some of them, and we'll go from there. Well, this plan's not gonna work. Apparently they still fit through those little holes at the bottom. So, gonna have to rethink this. Okay, so obviously the plan changed, but I caught them all, and now they are in the chicken tractor, and they'll probably have to stay there for another week or 2, and then they won't be able to get through those small holes. but apparently they're still small enough that they fit through them, so we're gonna have to give it a few weeks. Now, in what, 7 weeks, these guys all ought to weigh 5 or 6 pounds, but right now they're kind of little. I don't know if you can see them in there or not. Let's see. Yeah, there they are. But they have water and food. So on that happy note, which I'm saying a lot lately, I'm going to tell you all to support your local farmers. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk at you a little later.